Hey, welcome to Tractor Time with Mr. Mick. And we have a book tonight that isn't really about the farm, but it's about Morris the Moose. But in the book, Morris does talk to a cow, right? So that's kind of about the farm. So Morris the Moose is the name of our book. Now, when you think of a moose, you think of a pretty big animal, right? And we don't have as many moose around now as we used to, but about 30 years ago when I lived in Newfoundland, Minnesota, there was a lot of moose around, and my wife and I and my son Nicholas used to see moose all the time. So that made me think of this big moose of a tractor that I have right here. This is a toy 80 John Deere diesel. The 80 John Deere replaced the Model R John Deere, and when I was growing up, a good friend of ours and a neighbor, and he was one of my high school teachers, and he was my boss when I taught school in Oakley. Charlie Bishop had an 80 John Deere, so I can't see an 80 John Deere without thinking about my friend Charlie Bishop. Here's our book tonight, Morris the Moose. And in the front it does say, "To Marshall from Aunt Liz," so that's interesting. Morris the Moose. One day Morris the Moose saw a cow. "You are a funny-looking moose," he said. There's Morris looking at the cow. "I am a cow. I am not a moose," said the cow. "Well, you have 4 legs and a tail, and you have things on your head," said Morris. "You are a moose." "But I say moo," said the cow. "Well, I can say moo too," said Morris. The cow said, "I give milk to people." "So you are a moose who gives milk to people," said Morris, and he kind of laughed. "But my mother is a cow," said the cow. "You are a moose," said Morris. "So your mother must be a moose too." "Well, I can tell you," said the cow. "You can tell me you are a moose," said Morris. "No," cried the cow, "I am not a moose. Ask him. He will tell you what I am." And they look over here. I wonder what that is. "What is she?" Morris asked the deer. The deer said, "She has 4 legs and a tail and things on her head. She is a deer like me." "She is a moose like me," Morris yelled. "You? You are not a moose. You are a deer too," the deer laughed. The deer laughed at Morris. They are all mixed up. "I am a moose," cried Morris. "You are a deer," shouted the deer. "What can I tell you?" asked Morris. "You can tell me you are a deer," said the deer. "Let's ask somebody else," said the cow. "Okay, moose," said Morris the moose. "Okay, deer," said the deer. They walked until they found a horse. "Hello, you horses." "Hello, you horses," said the horse. "What are those funny things on your heads?" "Oh dear," the cow sighed. "Let's ask somebody else. But first, let's get a drink." Morris, the cow, and the deer drank from a cool blue stream. They're all taking a drink out of the water. I wonder what's going to happen. Morris looked at himself in the water and smiled. "You two do not look at all like me," he said. "You cannot be moose." "You mean you are not deer?" said the deer. "You don't look at all like me." "See," said the cow, "I am not a moose or a deer. I am a cow. You made a mistake." "I did not," said Morris. "I made a moose-steak." The end. Morris the Moose.